If it looks like I'm looking at two different cameras, it's because I am. I'm streaming on my Facebook profile, Samra Mai, as well as in my Facebook group, Fit and Fast Running Moms. I'm also on my Facebook fan page. It's called My Fitness Solutions, and I'm on my YouTube channel, My Fitness Solutions LLC. So let me know where you're watching from, because I'm very curious. And today is a part two series of a two-part series. And it's called The Hope for All Moms. So, yesterday I shared some vulnerable stuff about struggles that I had faced growing up with having a mother who suffered from a mental illness. Hey, Renato, great to see you. Thanks for hopping on. And how it has affected not just myself, but and as a mom. And so if you haven't watched that yesterday, go ahead and watch that. That's the part one series of, like I said, I talk about how I grew up with a mother who had mental illness and how it affects me now. And then the struggles that I have had with regards to, being the mom that I want to be for my kids. And I talk about how I was really nervous about being a mom. For a couple reasons. Number one, because my mother's mental illness is hereditary, I was very scared of my children becoming mentally ill. And number two, because I grew up with a mom that was mentally ill, I was nervous, about, how do I be a mom? And let me know if you've ever been nervous about being a mom. But, today I wouldn't trade that for the world. I've learned so many things, and I love my children so much. So yesterday I left you at sitting in church with my son, who had just really pretty much gotten screamed at by the woman in front of us, telling him very quite evilly to stop tapping on her pew. And I was like, she said it much more evilly, much more evil way, really. So what happens next? What happens next shocked me. I was really upset about what happened next. So what happened next was I didn't do anything. I sat there. My son was upset. I could see it in his face and in his body language. And then my brother-in-law was sitting next to my son, and my brother-in-law, I could see that he was stunned. We were all stunned. I was upset that I didn't do anything, but I liken it to being actually like stung, bitten by a snake, an evil snake that had bitten me with venom, that to the point where I was just paralyzed. I was like paralyzed in disbelief. I was paralyzed in disbelief that this woman in front of us was talking to us the way she did. She wasn't even really talking to us. She was just, not talking. It was very rude. And I was stunned. How can someone talk to us like that in church? We were in church. And then I didn't feel like I could do anything, because for so long in my life, I was taught to respect elders and not speak up, and confront them. I was basically taught to be non-confrontational. And so that's where I was coming from, in why I didn't necessarily do anything in that moment in time. I was just so in awe and in disbelief of what had just happened. And then when I saw the way my son had reacted, however, and how upset he was, I was really upset at myself for doing nothing. And I sat there and I stewed. I tried to comfort my son, but I just, put my arm around him, but he pushed me away. He needed time to himself, and I understood that. So, time went on, and as we were sitting through the ceremony, and I said, okay, I pulled myself back together, and I said to myself, self, all right, after this is over, I'm gonna have a word with this lady. Um, but I didn't get that opportunity. She left after communion. Go figure. Anyone who's Catholic will understand. So she left after communion, and I never found her again. But it was in that moment that where I said to myself, this is not good for me. It's not good for my son. I need to be able to use my voice and to speak up for him and to speak up for my children, so that they have a voice, so that they have a voice through me. And then it's also up to me to speak up for him, so that he also understands, and my children also understand, that they are allowed to speak up for themselves in what is right for them. And let me know down below if you would agree with that. So what happens next, and how has this helped us? So it's a work in progress, being silent for so many years. Yesterday, I talked about being silent about my mother's mental illness and how I didn't feel I could speak. And I just told you how I have been silent in life and not necessarily sticking up for myself, because I was taught to kind of be passive and to be non-confrontational. But it was in that moment in that church where I realized this is not just affecting me, it's affecting my children, and that's not okay. They need to be able to know that I'm going to be their advocate, and that they can be advocates for themselves as well. So after that incident, even that same day when things calmed down, I did sit down with my son, and I talked with him, and I said, and I apologized. I said I was very sorry for, not sticking up for you. And I told him, I said, I'm really upset with myself. And he probably, in his sweet way, probably said, that's okay, Mom. But I apologized. I said, that's not going to happen again. I am here to help you. And then I also taught him too that it's okay for him to speak up for himself. Not that he should necessarily felt like it was his fault for not speaking up for himself in that moment in time at that church, but in the future, if he feels wronged, that I want him to understand that it's okay for him to feel like he can stick up for himself, and get things happening for himself in life. Because one thing that I have taught myself is, and have learned from others, is I have to make my own life happen. Growing up the way I grew up, that I had to teach myself to basically make my own life happen, and to think optimistically, and that things would get better for me on the other side. And I'm on the other side right now, and I want to be able to teach my children the same thing, thinking optimistically, thinking that they can speak up for themselves, having self-confidence, and knowing that they are worth speaking up for themselves. They are worth taking care of themselves, having a great life, both physically and mentally. That's why I'm so passionate about living a healthy life, because we only get just one, and why not live it to the fullest? I saw my mom crippled with mental illness and physical difficulties as well, and I didn't want that for myself. I don't want it for my children. I want them to live healthy and flourishing lives. And like I said, that's why running means so much to me. It brings me peace. And it's why healthy living means so much to me. And it's why I want to share it. I want to, and that's why I've been sharing it, so that others can, maybe get benefit from the, from exercise and running and good nutrition and having and leading a healthy life, because it is truly possible for you, and it's possible to get the life that you want to get. So I have a Facebook group for moms, for running moms. And if you want to be a part of it, I have a link in the description up above. And I would love to have you in there. It's a private Facebook group of supportive moms. And we talk about running, we talk about nutrition, and we'll be talking more about mental wellness and how to help our kids through this life, because it's certainly very challenging right now, right, with remote learning. But in this past year, being an advocate for my kids and speaking up for them more and getting them what they need has been, I can see a difference in their self-confidence and their abilities to speak up for themselves as well. They are, exercising more. Well, the older one, maybe not so much, but they see me. If I can be that example for them, then I know that I'm doing my job. I want to set that good example of being healthy so that they know that they can be healthy and have, live a good, healthy life. So, like I said, if you want to join in on the Facebook group with other running moms, the link is up above. I would love to have you in there. And then also comment below and tell me one thing that you've done that's helped you deal with your struggles with motherhood and being a mom. All right. So I hope this was helpful for you. Thank you for hopping on. Thank you, Renato. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. So have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.